The hazard game is so unbelievably important in competitive single battles and in Pokemon Draft League. The ability to passively damage your opponent's Pokemon by just them switching in and out is incredibly strong. Very often the winner of Draft League games are determined by who wins the hazard game. There are plenty of ways you can play around hazards. One is simply slapping heavy-duty boots on a Pokemon weak to hazards, or just defogging the hazards away. As easy as it is to defog hazards away, it also comes at the detriment of defogging your own hazards away as well. Therefore, the preferred method of hazard removal is most definitely Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin is a normal type attack with 50 base power that not only gives your Pokemon a speed boost, but also removes hazards from your side of the field. Fun fact, it also removes leech seed and other things as well. Wow, what a great move! How are hazards ever a problem? Well, that comes in the typing of Rapid Spin itself. Another reason Ghost types are often so strong and valuable in Draft League and singles competitive Pokemon, that comes in the typing of Rapid Spin. Because it's a normal type move, it will not connect into Ghost type targets. This interaction is yet another reason Ghost types are so strong and valuable in singles competitive Pokemon and Draft League. It allows them to function in the role of a spin blocker, letting both offensive and defensive hazard stack oriented teams thrive. Today, we'll be going over the greatest spin blocker in Draft League history, Pecharunt, and what makes it so dominant in this role. Hey guys, OG Albani here, and if you guys do enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 10,000 subs. I know that is a big lofty goal, but I need your help in reaching it. So I'd really appreciate if you took the time just to hit that sub button, especially if you enjoy Draft League content like this. That being said, let's jump into it. First, let's talk bad spin blockers. Just being a ghost type does not make you a good spin blocker. The crux of many ghosts in this role is that they're typically very frail. Sure, you may be immune to rapid spin, but all it takes is one prediction from the opponent catching you try and block their spin to blow up your ghost type completely. This will then just allow your opponent to position the spin next turn or later on in the battle. An example of your more frail bad spin blockers would be Pokemon like Gengar or say a Ceruledge. Another quality of a good spin blocker is its viability in the tier outside of just being a spin blocker. Sure, preventing removal is a great quality, but is it worth having a dedicated team slot simply for that? In some cases, sure, but we want to try and get as much value out of our limited team members as humanly possible. A great example of a spin blocker is Gholdengo. Gholdengo is considered an elite level spin blocker because not only does it stop rapid spin, but its insane ability, good as gold, blocks any status moves from affecting it. Now, this is a great ability on its own, just for general play applications, but it makes Gholdengo an elite spin blocker as well because it also blocks defog. This lets Gholdengo block hazard removal to the extent that no other Pokemon can. Its Ghost Steel typing is also incredible defensively. It has reliable recovery and recover, it can set up with Nasty Plot, and its signature move and Make It Rain is incredibly broken and strong. You may be thinking, wait a minute, with this combination of attributes, how is Gholdengo not the best spin blocker? It even blocks defog. Well, dear viewer, while Gholdengo blocks defog, a quality no other Pokemon has passively, it is not the best Pokemon blocking rapid spin, specifically. It has very serviceable bulk, but it cannot block the best spinners consistently. Let's look at them first. The big three spinners in Scarlet and Violet Draft League are Great Tusk, Iron Treads, and Terapagos. These three behemoths are not only incredible spinners, but are also super strong Pokemon in their own right. Gholdengo in particular doesn't match up great into them. Great Tusk and Iron Treads have super strong ground stat to threaten crazy damage into Gholdengo and its partial steel typing. Sure, you can rock an air balloon on Gholdengo to avoid this, but Tusk and Treads also have the almost drawback-free knockoff to not only pop Balloon, but hit Gholdengo super effectively and put in range of Earthquake or Headlong Rush. Gholdengo can block the spin from Terapagos much better, as it's immune to the super strong Terra Starstorm that Terapagos loves throwing around. However, the same can be said of Terapagos to Gholdengo's Shadow Ball, allowing it to hit Gholdengo with a plethora of super effective coverage moves like Earth Power, Flamethrower, or Dark Pulse. It can even leverage its incredible Terra Shell ability to set up Calm Minds in Gholdengo's face for free, flipping the matchup into Terapagos' favor. Let's move on to the true best spin blocker in Draft League history, Pecharunt. But wait, looking at these matchups, Pecharunt should struggle heavily into all three of these spinners as well, right? It's weak to ground like Gholdengo into the Paradox Donphan twins, and it should face similar problems against Terapagos that Gholdengo already does as well. How in the world does it function as a better spin blocker? Well, that lies in its stats. You see, Pecharunt has a super weird stat spread of 88 in every stat besides its defense, which is a colossal 160. Pecharunt is technically weak to ground, but it's not necessarily weak to Earthquake. First, we'll look at Treads. Say we predict Pecharunt to come in on our Treads in order to stop Rapid Spin. We click a strong max attack Earthquake. It comes Pecharunt and it barely takes 40%? Yes, you read that right. Pecharunt is never 2-hit KO'd by non-boosting item Earthquake from Iron Treads. This isn't taking into accountability the possibility of Shuko or Air Balloon either. Now, Pecharunt is hardly a long-term answer to Treads, but in a fast-paced metagame like Scarlet and Violet, stopping the spin just once or twice is plenty enough to keep your hazard up for what's likely the rest of the game. Pekka's stupid amount of physical bulk actually forces many Iron Treads to run a special attacking set with Earth Powers instead. Yes, this does 2-hit KO Pecharunt despite Tread's low base special attack, but that is unless Pecharunt is especially defensive. Then we're back to the same song and dance as before. What about Terapagos? Well, as noted before, you are immune to Terra Starstorm. Terap does have the broken Terra Shell to worry about, but that's where Pecharunt's signature move of its own comes in. Malignant Chain is a strong base 100 power poison type attack that has the ability to poison its target a staggering 50% of the time. Now let's compound this 50% poison chance with Pekka's signature ability, Poison Puppeteer. This ability confuses any Pokemon that is poisoned directly by Pekka. Sure, you might not do much damage to Terapagos through Terra Shell, but that poison sure will. And with especially defensive spread, you're one poison away from easy 1v1 of Terapagos. Plus, keep in mind, even though you're not going physically defensive on Pecharunt, it will still function as a great physical wall into 99% of teams, even without any defense investment. Lastly is Great Tusk. Now, this is definitely a lot harder to spin block. Tusk is really freaking strong. Headlong Rush isn't as easy to block as Earthquake as well, but you can definitely still do it. Air Balloon works because you live knockoff into Headlong Rush, Shuka can work, and even Citrus Berry lets you live 2 Headlong Rush if you really want to block the spin. Regardless, it's about as good as you can get in checking Tusk and stopping it from spinning. And keep in mind, that's the absolute best spinner in the format. These matchups into the best spinners obviously implies that Pecharunt spin blocks the more mediocre ones as well. Tentacruel, Blastoise, and even average Tusk in Donphan. Because of this, the core of Pecharunt Tinglu has become incredibly dominant in today's Draft League metagame. Tinglu sets up hazards and Pekka keeps them up, plus they cover each other pretty much perfectly defensively. Tinglu resists Ghost and Dark for Pekka, and Pekka resists Fairy and is immune to fighting for Tinglu. They facilitate each other and their more offensively inclined teammates incredibly well. That is the video on Pecharunt, the best spin blocker in Draft League history. Let me know if you guys disagree. I understand this might be controversial. Gholdengo is definitely a close second, but I think in pure spin blocking ability, Pecharunt has it beat. Whereas mostly because of the fact that Gholdengo is just a little bit more easily offensively pressured than Pecharunt is with 160 base defense, right? But that's at least my thoughts on it. And again, I'm always open and welcome to discussion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know the next kind of topic you want me to cover. What are the best X in Draft League history or whatever it is. And yeah, with that being said, drop a like and enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. See you guys next time.